because the metric modulation thing is just so beyond my.
Once we do it, like I guess like anything, it's not that weird. Once you do it, once you understand what it is, and you don't think of it, you don't put it on a pedestal. That's the biggest thing with this book is you start learning how to not put rhythms on a pedestal. Sevens shouldn't go on a pedestal. Five shouldn't go on a pedestal. They're no different than triplets. They're no different than any odd rhythm. It's just a rhythm. And when metric modulation, when all you're saying is this note is now this note. And when you do that, the count changes, not the note. And that's what gets really confusing. So what's going to happen is you got to feel the time shifts in relation to where that new note is. And it changes the tempo of the song.
Is that like meter change? Is that the same thing as meter change?
Because the meter could still be 4/4, but it's 4/4 at a different speed. It's 4/4 at a slower or faster tempo.
Right.
And because you're using a metric modulation, the modulation snaps it to a different tempo. It's not arbitrary. It snaps to an exact speed, but you got to get it, based on the tempo you were at before and the note value before, the tempo is going to shift. The easiest way to think of a metric modulation is a double time halftime, which is you do often. That's a metric modulation.
Oh, okay.
Right. So if you're feeling like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, there's your quarter note. If I move that to a halftime feel, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Technically, I'm 1E and a 2, 3, 4, 1E and a 2E and a 3. So I turn the 8th note into a 16th note, and the time feels like it's in half. Instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, now it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you don't have to do that because those are even, so you could just make it halftime and put the backbeat on the 3 and everything stays the same, or you could do like a metric modulation. It's subjective. It's completely up to you how you want to hear that and count it. And that's why I always go back to time signatures are completely subjective. I know how you choose to write it. Once you know the rules, you can do so many things. And people sometimes are very dogmatic. They're very locked into a very limited box of how they think.